Two fish meet in the same corner of the tank every day. When one of them is gone, the other won't leave that corner. Is that coincidence, habit, or could it be an emotional response? It sounds like a strange question, too simple a nervous system, too small a brain. But research conducted up to the present day has documented emotion-like states in more than 100 fish species. And that research has moved this question somewhere entirely different. Today we're going to talk about all of it. What fish feel, whether they can form friendships, whether they can hate, and love. How accurate is it to use that word for fish? But let's start with the most fundamental question, because the answer to this one is the foundation for everything else. The word emotion carries a lot of weight here. In humans, emotion is a conscious experience. I feel something. I know I'm feeling it. I'm living through this experience. That level requires specific regions of the brain, particularly the neocortex. Fish don't have that region. But jumping from there to they feel nothing would also be a mistake, because there's a functional definition of emotion too. Fleeing from danger, approaching a reward, forming social bonds, responding physiologically to stress. All of these can exist without conscious experience. And in fish, every single one of them has been documented. So is this emotion? Still debated, but there's nothing there is no longer a defensible position. And the most concrete evidence in this debate is fear. There's an experiment conducted on rainbow trout. Researchers activated a specific light in the tank and dropped a net. The fish fled. This was repeated several times. Then just the light was turned on. No net. The fish fled anyway. 7 days later, on the first test, the same response appeared. That light, that fear. 1 week later, it hadn't faded. This is learned fear memory, not just reflex, a context, a threat, an escape response, all recorded and stored together. And this fear isn't only behavioral, it's physiological. Stressed fish show elevated cortisol, the same hormone that serves as the biological marker of stress in humans. Chronically elevated cortisol stunts growth, suppresses the immune system, and halts reproduction. Fear exists. Stress exists. These are measurable, repeatable, documented. But negative emotions aside, what about the positive side? Research on stickleback fish found something genuinely fascinating. When two fish were placed together in a stressful environment, their cortisol levels moved in parallel. When one became stressed, the other's cortisol rose too. When one calmed down, the others began to drop as well. This is called cortisol co-regulation. It's a phenomenon observed in humans among close couples and in parent-child relationships, and it was documented in a fish species. What does this mean? Those two fish are physiologically sensing each other's emotional states. One's stress transfers to the other. One's calm calms the other. That's a bond. Using the word friendship might be considered anthropomorphizing, but the fact that those two organisms are physiologically connected to each other is real. And this bond has a concrete behavioral expression. A fish placed in a stressful environment calms down significantly faster when a familiar individual is present. If a stranger is there, this effect doesn't appear. When it's someone familiar, cortisol drops more quickly. Researchers call this the social buffering effect. So a familiar presence reduces stress simply by being there. That says a great deal about your aquarium. If you want to learn more about your aquarium, consider following the channel. Liking the video also helps us enormously. Thank you in advance. The other powerful emotion is hatred. Hatred is a heavy word, but how else do you explain it? Observations on the cichlid family reveal something very clear. These fish memorize individual rivals. When they encounter the same rival again, their response is faster and more intense. They remember the past conflict. And this isn't just be afraid of the big fish. It's a specific individual. That individual's appearance, body, behavioral patterns. This is called individual rival recognition, and it requires a form of memory. Not just a danger category, but a this specific individual is danger memory. There's also this. Subordinate fish display retaliatory behavior toward dominant individuals when the opportunity arises. When the power balance shifts, when the dominant individual weakens or is isolated, the previously suppressed fish attack that individual, not randomly, deliberately. Hatred? Scientists don't use that word, but the behavioral pattern strongly suggests it. So what about the most powerful emotion? Some fish species form pair bonds. This isn't an exaggeration, it's documented. Discus fish are the most well-known example. During breeding season, a pair separates from the group. They swim together, they clean surfaces together, they take turns keeping watch. After the eggs hatch, both parents offer their own bodies as food to the fry, alternating turns. When one of the pair dies, observations are very consistent. The surviving individual stays in that area for a long time. Feeding patterns become disrupted. Behavioral changes can persist for weeks. Grief? Science is cautious with that word, but no alternative explanation for these behaviors has been produced. Angelfish form similar bonds, and when one of a bonded pair is isolated, the other's stress hormone rises. The stressor is invisible, but measurable. But the most surprising finding on this list is hidden somewhere else entirely. The answer to this question changes everything about the hobby. An experiment on trout. Researchers applied bee venom to the fish's lip region. The fish began rubbing their lips against the side of the tank. They stopped eating. Their movement became abnormal. Then a painkiller was administered. The behavior returned to normal. This isn't just reaction to a harmful stimulus. The fact that a painkiller worked shows that the response is connected to a genuine pain experience. When the pain was removed, the behavior changed. There's also this. Research on surgeonfish showed that when fish made contact with a mechanical massage device, their cortisol dropped. Physical contact relaxed them, just as a human might calm down with touch. For relaxation to occur, something must have been disrupted first. Stress, tension, discomfort. And when that discomfort is removed, relaxation follows. Is this emotion? Science says emotion-like state. But in practice, what's the difference? This information isn't abstract. It changes everyday care decisions. Keeping a schooling fish alone is no longer just unnatural. It's a source of physiological stress. Without the social buffering effect, cortisol stays chronically elevated. Immunity drops. Growth slows. Incompatible tank mates aren't just a fighting risk. They create chronic fear memory. That fish lives in the same space as that rival every single day. That fear activates every single day. Isolating species that form pair bonds, discus, angelfish, certain cichlids, doesn't just make them lonely, it puts them under physiological stress. And the matter of rearranging decor, the loss of a familiar environment is a genuine stress source for that fish. It'll get used to it, you say, and it does. But during that adjustment period, cortisol stays elevated. Knowing this changes how you look at every decision you make. Two fish. Every day, they meet in the same corner of the tank. When one of them is gone, the other won't leave that corner. Now look at that scene again. Habit? Maybe. But maybe something far more. Two organisms whose cortisol levels influence each other. One's stress transfers to the other. One's presence calms the other. And when one is gone, the other's behavior changes measurably. Friendship, emotion, bond. Which of these words is right? Science is still debating. But watching those two fish meet in the same corner every day feels different now. Do you have a pair like that in your tank? Have you ever seen one fish's behavior change when the other was gone? Write it in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. In the next video, I'll be covering the things that absolutely need to be in your aquarium. If you don't want to miss it, you know what to do. See you under the water.